You're recording.
I'm recording locally and on the Mevo. We're live and in charge. Just having the Patreon's Patreon conversation that Eddie and I just had. And I could never share. I almost thought about teasing this thing that happened at South by, but I can't. That would be rude.
Yeah.
Even though I'm kind of teasing it now, but not for the real show. All right. It's late. I don't know if I mean, God bless you if you're on the East Coast and it's 12 midnight.
Man.
Come hang. Live show now.
What time is it in England?
They're 7 hours ahead. So.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
right now, because I think with daylight savings they're different. So what is that, 4 a.m.?
Okay.
English Paul is definitely not awake. Oh, what's up? My old roommate, Jeff. Oh, my man, this guy. Canada Hall.
Oh, wow. Canada Hall,
yeah.
huh?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Oh, and Shelby. What's up, Shelby? I'm drinking some tea right now. Jeff, that would kill you. Like a bag tea. Trader Joe's red tea, bag tea. He's a real tea guy.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah, like loose leaf. Super status. I wish I could get into that.
Wow.
Instead, my hobby that involves drinking is beer, which is like a fun way of being an alcoholic. Yeah, we had fun that year. I mean, that was what, like sophomore year of college. That's when I met Nicole. He was my roommate then. And do you remember Canada Hall was like 3 rooms, 2 guys in a room?
Yeah.
And man, I have to go back.
Yeah.
Just to go back. Would be great. I like that Earl Grey. All right. Let's get rocking here.
Tea nerds.
Tea nerds. Oh, John G, man.
Hey.
Oh, what's up, V? V Hernandez. Yeah, John G, man. Thanks for all the great voicemails. I don't know if we'll get to them this week, John, but they're in the queue. Believe me. All right. You ready, Eduardo?
Let's do this shit.
Are we on 285? All right. Okay. We in frame. I guess I should look at the thing here. We look good. Look at us in our hats.
Oh, yeah.
Hat guys. Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Save It for the Show with Dan and Eddie. This is episode 285 of your favorite comedy podcast, where every week Eddie and I sit down, we make each other laugh, we make you laugh. Eddie, my man.
Yes, sir.
Hat bro. Eddie and I are both wearing hats today.
Yes.
Nothing drives me more crazy in a non-sexual way than a lady in a hat.
It drives you crazy like you don't like it?
I can't think of any situation where I've seen a woman wearing a hat and thought, damn, girl.
Really?
Really, ever.
Huh. Okay.
Cowboy hat, baseball hat, fedora, newsy cap, bowler cap.
Never. Like, not even like a completely naked woman.
Nope.
Okay.
A beret, a veil. I can't think of any situation where a woman wearing a hat is a turn on to me.
Really?
Can you?
I mean,
Are you into hats?
I'm not into girls in hats necessarily, but like, I think there are times where a girl can put on a hat and you're like, all right, she looks cute.
Like a sporty hat.
Yeah, maybe a sporty.
You know who looks cute in a hat, Eddie? You and me.
Oh yeah.
And we're wearing them tonight, doing the show live.
Yes.
Having a great time. Last week there wasn't a show, but we threw up a classic ragtime show, which I got a bunch of nice emails about, which made me happy that people thought like, oh shit, that show was like 3 years old and it was still good. Well, guess what, motherfucker? There's 284 other shows that are pretty darn good.
Yeah.
It's not like the show just got good 30 episodes ago. You may say to yourself, God damn it, these guys have almost done 300 shows. Why aren't they rich and famous yet? Those old shows must suck. They don't.
I wonder if that is the thought process. Like,
That's
you know
my
what?
thought process. I'm projecting
Okay.
right now, Eddie. If I was Dr. Duff, I would say that's classic projection, Dan.
Yes.
And so, no, there are good old shows back there. I'd say probably from 75 up.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a minefield because back then you weren't on every week. And that's when I was hustling the show to try to have quote unquote famous or funny people on the show.
Yeah.
That stopped. I'm not sure which episode was that turning point. And when you were officially like, you know, the Cobra bro.
Bruh.
And but there's some gems back there,
Oh, definitely.
you know.
I mean, they're not all gonna be diamonds, but there's
rubies,
consistent rubies throughout.
some
I'd say.
aquamarines. I don't know what the cut
Emeralds, maybe.
emeralds, sure. There's some great
Yeah.
ones back there. And a lot of the funny jokes too are pulled out by Amanda and thrown at the end of a lot of our new episodes. But yeah, especially if you're new to the show, dig deep. Don't go to episode 1, that's for sure. That one's a nightmare. But I was out of town. I was at South by Southwest. And every year, I mean, this is probably the 4th year in a row where I have that lofty dream that I'm going there for the podcast
Yeah.
and not for work. And this year wasn't that year, which was really adorable that a couple people sent me an email thinking that I was out there for the show.
Oh,
And
really?
I thought like, oh,
That's hilarious.
that's really sweet. No, not at all. The show, I would have been talking my ass off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have surprised people that we were going to. So South by Southwest is a huge music, technology, and it's becoming a bit of a comedy thing too, where people are doing their shows live there. People are doing stand-up live there. And one of these days, we'll be out there peddling our wares. Or maybe not, but I was out there, and I had a great time.
Good.
But yeah, I was gone all week, and then, you know, we were both busy, so we couldn't do the show. But I did a couple cool things. Can I share them with you?
Please do.
So I was staying at the Four Seasons, which is a nice hotel
Fancy.
there in town. Yes, it felt very fancy. But I was sharing a room with another man.
Ooh, okay.
And you know me, when I business travel,
You like to bang dudes.
I like to bang dudes.
Yeah.
Hard right in the ass. No, I love to jerk off in a hotel. That's like my jam.
Okay.
You know, it's as close that I get to cheating on my wife with another hand
Is-
in a new zip code
Yeah.
with maybe some fancy new lotion. Because, like, to me, it's like, you know, I'm a moist man. I talk about that on the show where I use something. And in my house, there's only a certain amount of things that I can use.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not dipping into, like, my kid's lotion or, like, a weird thing
Yeah,
that
why
might
would you
have
do
a
that?
smell. Because, listen, it's disgusting to admit this. But I feel like after you've jerked off with a certain lotion or something that has a certain scent, after 200 times, like I can tell you exactly how the lotion smelled when I was a preteen and I used to jerk off all the time. It was Vaseline Intensive Care, like in that yellow big bottle.
I think that's what everyone had back then. That was the
Maybe.
only option.
Maybe. And there was also a purple version of it, which was like the calming version. I'm really sorry to my sister right now who's listening and probably remembers.
This was her lotion that you would borrow.
It was the house lotion. You know, when you're a 13-year-old, you can't ask to have your own bottle of lotion because you got dry
It's
ass
just
hands.
really dry. We live in the desert, Mom.
We live in Las Vegas.
Fuck.
It's really dry. Can I have my own bottle of lotion, please? No, but you get a certain smell to it. So, anyways, around the house, in my house, this house, you know, there's probably 30 lotions,
Yeah.
but only 2 of them are being used for my situation.
Okay.
When you business travel, you get a new lotion, new fancy lotion, and maybe it's got a different smell or it's really thin or watery. I don't travel with my own Jerkins lotion, even though I mentioned that I do have a tiny one after I jerked off with soap
Oh,
in
that's right.
Portland.
Yeah.
Shout out to my old buddy Jeff, who's listening in the chat room. He's from Portland and he works at a hotel. Next time I come to Portland, staying in your hotel, I will jerk off with your soap.
That's a
Super shout out.
promise.
That's a promise. And you don't even have to join the Patreon for that to happen, my friend. So, anyways, I was in a hotel room with another man.
Okay.
I don't like to rush these things like in the shower. I'm not an animal. It's not a means to an end. And so that was one bit of a bummer. And the other funny thing is, guys shit. Like, you know, I hate to break it to you.
What?
Spoiler alert. I know. Guys take poops, big poops. And especially when I was there, I was drinking really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. Because that's the other thing about South by Southwest is I go there for work because everyone from around the nation comes to Austin, Texas. So I see clients of mine from Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit, and it's great. and everywhere booze is free.
Yeah.
Everywhere, every bar and every party is sponsored by a band or Media Temple or HBO. It's just drinks are flowing. And when you destroy your body all day long and all night, you're going to pay for it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's usually by coming out of your asshole. And so I didn't give a shit. Like if I had to go to the bathroom.
Came out of your asshole? Wow.
Not yet. Not as young. No, but I didn't care. Like I would just take a poop. If I was farting, like just letting it rip. And this guy I was taking a room with, though, he would just he'd run the shower. He'd like run the sink. And I'd be like, dude, what? And it would make me upset because I think you're wasting so much water.
Yeah.
And instead you're drawing an immense amount of attention to the fact that you're taking a shit. Just let it roll, dude.
Yeah, like, hey, you just showered like 2 minutes. You just got out of the shower, man.
Right. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? So it was the Four Seasons where a lot of celebrities stayed.
Okay.
And I've talked about the show at length that I have this fantasy that I meet a celebrity and he picks me up or her over his or her shoulder and just carries us to the next level. Like I feel like we're there. We are the farm team pitcher who's just ready to get pulled up to the bigs.
Yeah.
And we're just waiting for that hand to reach down and help us out. And I thought, of course, I got our business cards, our new Save for the Show business cards.
Yeah.
I'm cruising around. And I went to the gym really early, like, 8 a.m. And you know who was in there was this guy named Daveed Diggs, who you'd recognize him. He was in the movie Wonder.
Okay.
He was the teacher with he's got hair you totally recognize. Black dude. And he was in Hamilton, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And he's in the Zelle commercials. Like a cool motherfucker.
Okay.
Really funny. And I saw him in the gym and I was like, all right. Well, I mean, and this isn't, Tom Hanks or something. And he was working out next to me. And that's the thing, too, we're working out. Like, it wasn't like at a bar where it makes sense for me to say, hey,
yeah,
what's up, man? I'm a big fan of yours. Da, da, da. And he looked at me and said, like, what's up? And I said, hi. Like, I thought you were great in Wonder. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. And then he walked out.
So he was like a cowboy? Also?
No.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, thanks, mom, brother. No, he was super nice and friendly, and then he took off. And I said, fuck. All right, well, strike one.
Yeah.
Didn't hit it with him. Maybe tomorrow I'll see another celebrity. Tomorrow morning I go downstairs, and Common is working out in the gym. Common,
the rapper slash actor?
The rapper slash actor
what?
slash poet businessman.
Oh,
Common
shit. Okay.
is in there working out with what seemed to be his assistant, and this other dude who looked really familiar and also famous to me. White dude, like, 35 or something.
Okay.
And I thought, like, damn, that guy's got to be from some NBC comedy. And I can't place who he is. He looks really familiar. And Common's voice is so recognizable and deep. And he's talking and they're working out. And I'm like, shit, I mean, definitely can't talk to Common. It's going to, like, bother Common. And what do I say? Hi, Mr. Common. Never met a love like this. Like, what am I supposed to say to a guy like that?
You say exactly that, dude.
I don't think so. He probably gets bothered all the time.
Oh, I'm sure he does, but I mean, like, this is an unexpected place. So, and if you didn't come at him like a fucking weirdo, then he'd probably be like, oh, this guy's cool.
I was wearing gym clothes.
You should have just started, like, put the podcast on, like, on your phone, like, all loud.
It's really loud.
And she'd be like, oh, you guys don't mind if I listen, right? And then they just like, oh, shit, what's this stuff?
I should have.
Yeah.
That would have been something, but I didn't. There was no point, no in. And so I worked out, and then I went for a little run, came back into the gym, and those three people were still working out. I said, damn, that's a long workout. Well, the other amazing thing about staying at the Four Seasons is they had a steam room.
Okay.
And if it was like a gym with a steam room and you come out and there's like razors, like you can shave, I was like, you know what? I'm getting after this. Like, I'm doing this. And so I get naked. And that's the other thing. You get naked, you put a towel over yourself. Excuse me. I'm going to burp. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. But I'm starving and I just worked out. And so I grabbed an apple, which is weird. So I grab a green apple, I'm in my towel, and I go in the steam room. And the second I get in there, I regret it. Because I'm in the steam room
eating an apple.
Which is disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, the apple is sweating, like I'm eating the moisture, which is like eating the air.
Yeah.
It was a terrible move. Well, then who walks in? The white dude that was hanging out with Comet. And then immediately it hits me who he is. His name's Adam Pally. and he was in that show, Happy Endings and the
Oh,
Mindy
okay.
Project.
Yeah.
He's just like one of those dudes. And he comes in, he's like, "What's up?" And I said, "Hey." And then I said, I eating this apple in here, real bad call. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird." and then I laughed, and then we got to talking. And at one point I said something like, "Look, like I do a podcast." He's like, "Oh, really?" And I joked, like, "Of course, here's another dude." He's like, "Oh, I want to come on your podcast." And I said, "Well, I didn't even ask. You didn't even know what it's about. I didn't even ask you." He's like, "I don't care." I was like, "Do people ask you all the time to come on their podcast?" He's like, "Yeah." Almost like reflexively.
Yeah.
Like as if I was going to like rape him into my podcast. He just sort of like shut down. I was like, "Yeah, you're talking about a podcast to me. Of course you want to come on." I wasn't going to ask him. Like, that's not really what our show's about, is like to have him on. And he's like, "Well, tell me what it is. I'll listen to it." I said, "Cool." He's like, "I'm doing here for a movie premiere. You should come to the movie premiere." I was like, "Dope. This is dope." and then I kind of felt like I had to leave because I thought I had a meeting. So I got out real quick, and I was getting in the shower, and I was like, "You know what? I'm going to go back in there. I want to try to get to know this guy a little bit better." Like, I feel like I blew my chance.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of told him about the show, but I want to go back in there and just ask him more about himself. Let me get him talking about his movie. Let me try to become a little bit better friends with this guy. It's kind of weird that I left and I'm going to come back in. So I'll just go back in there and say, "Oh, I realized I have more time." Okay, cool. So I go back in there, and he kind of looks at me like, "Hey, you're back?" And it's like, "Yeah, I realized it's not as late as I thought it was." He's like, "Oh, what time is it?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck. I didn't look at the time." Like, that's a total lie. Like, I just told him I looked at the clock. That's why I'm back in here. And I said, "Oh, it was like 9 o'clock. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then we talked for like 5 more minutes. And then he got up to leave. And I looked through and I saw the time. It was like 9:45. Like, I was so off that he probably got out and was like, "Who's this fucking weird dude who's like bothering me?" And I tweeted at him, and he never responded to me.
Do you think he went to comment and he was like, "Hey, this weird motherfucker in the steam room just tried to blow me"?
He might as well have. I mean, look, he didn't tweet back at me.
Oh, man.
Now, what am I supposed to do? Like, be like, "Yo, like, it's weird Apple Steam dude. Can we kick it?" Later, man. And he's got 3 kids. Like, I actually really thought he would enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Because he's got, like I said, he's got children. He's a comedian. Why not? So I'm going to tweet at him and be like, "Look, hey, listen to the show again, dude. Like, I'm going to be annoying."
What if he like starts hating on us and he's like,
Fine.
"Hey, if anyone's ever heard of this podcast, just forget about it."
Great.
Okay.
It's fine. No, any press is good press.
That's true.
These days, right, Eduardo?
Yeah. What's his name?
Adam Pally.
Adam Pally. Okay.
And I told my sister, because I know she was a huge Happy Endings fan, and she freaked out for me. And I said, "I just took a steam with Adam Pally, and I was kind of weird." She's like, "Oh my god!" And I think he was in the Mindy Project. He has like a very big character in that show too.
Okay.
See, this is the other thing. I really wish I was genuinely a fan of his. Then I could have geeked out on him a little bit, like Common. But I just recognized his face, and
Gotcha.
it was what it was.
I think I'm picturing him.
Yeah, kind of like short, facial hair, dark haired, like a little paley.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever. So the other thing was there was all these activations. That's the other thing I go there for. And an activation, like a lot of people might have heard about it, Westworld, like recreated Westworld there. And it cost like $7 million. There was like 200
So crazy.
200 extras walking around this thing. It was insane. Like, you went to Westworld, and it made me laugh that they spent all this money just to get a bunch of nerds and I guess influencers go to this thing. I don't think Westworld's going to be HBO's next Game of Thrones. I think that's what they're trying to do really hard. But it was all stuff like that, and bands, and me being a dork to celebrities.
What was like the coolest activation? Was it the Westworld one?
Yeah, the Westworld one for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's also stupid things like, I don't know, brands are out there like what's a brand that, like, Uber's out there doing stuff.
Okay.
Netflix, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, they're all out there trying to get people to talk about their things. It's like trying to win the lottery.
Yeah.
Like, you do these activations, you hope people think they're cool, you hope they go viral, it's all a risk.
Yeah.
And you never know, except when you spend $7 million and it's with a huge show like Westworld. Anyways, that's boring. The other funny thing about Austin is it's super gritty too. There's this great street where it's just bar after bar after bar, and they're nasty fucking bars. I'm talking like piss trough, just graffiti everywhere. So it's fun. I had a really good time. So
These nasty bars, and it was
just
fucking
nasty.
amazing.
It was really good. It's great to get out like that. Oh, one thing too is I remember I talked about going to Six Flags a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I waited in line for hours to get a funnel cake because it was free. People wait in lines like crazy at South by. They were showing Ready Player One, the new movie, and there must have been a line blocks to see this movie. And I remember walking by and just thinking, like, you fucking idiots. Look at you dumbasses waiting in line for a movie. When meanwhile, a month ago, I was waiting in line for a sugar cake.
Funnel cake.
And here I'm laughing at them for this
Oh,
sort of
man.
thing. So it was fun, though.
Cool.
It was fun. So, again, next week, we go out there and, or next year, we're out there for the show. Because if we're not,
Do a meetup.
we'll do a meetup.
Yeah.
We've got some fans in Austin.
Yeah.
Would it be weird to meet them and it's just us and like one person? We need to have like at least 30, or it's more like a date.
No, I think that would be fun for that one person though.
It would be.
Yeah, we'd have a good time.
It would be. Fine. You, me, and one person.
And we'll go back to the hotel and jerk off. And
There you go. With
Then
our
have a
special
steam.
lotions. And then have a steam.
maybe eat an apple.
And we'll have a great time. Hey, speaking of eating things, one thing I did drink. Now, this could be a real treat.
Okay.
But I'm just going to share it now. A good buddy of the show, Ghetto Genius, Jay Wonder, he is a man that likes to indulge. And he's going on and on and on about these things called morning recovery.
Okay.
And look, I couldn't tell you the last time I drank so hard that I was that hungover that I couldn't like get out of bed. But I was worried that, I'd be out late, I'd be drinking a lot. And so I bought these things. And it's like a little bottle that you drink right before you go to bed.
Okay.
And man, I tell you what, every morning I woke up feeling like $1.5 million.
Really?
I woke up feeling better than if I didn't drink.
What's in this shit?
Just a ton of vitamins, like an insane amount of B12 and magic stuff, and probably horse cum, and like it's not approved.
That
by the
always
FDA.
picks me up.
Just a
Just
ton
a
of
shot of horse
cum.
cum.
It tasted really good, and so mini real treat, morning recovery. Don't have an offer code. They're not near and dear to our heart like BZRK. They're just good. And it worked, and it was pretty inexpensive. It was like $30 for 12 of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so worth it if you have something coming up, a wedding, and you cannot be hungover the next day. Excuse me. I think that's what they should totally do their marketing for. Is right now it's just kind of like, hey, if you drink, take them.
Yeah.
Like they're appealing to alcoholics, but instead they should appeal to normal people that you have to say to them, like, you cannot afford to be hungover. Take one of these motherfuckers. Morning recovery.
I'm gonna have to test this out.
You should.
But I'm gonna do it like legitimately and drink probably every night for a week
Yeah.
and take a baseline of it.
That's a good point. Like we should have like our drunk show style. Like, on St. Patty's Day, I should have gotten really fucked up.
Yeah.
Car bombs, picklebacks. It's disgusting that they're called Irish car bombs.
Yeah.
How rude to the people of Ireland. That would be like a New York drink called like the Twin Towers or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it totally would.
Or what's another terrible thing where people are dying?
Yeah.
A Florida drink named after that high school where the shooting just was. Like, it's kind of like that. Like it's an Irish car bomb, which is a terrible thing that happened there. And maybe it's because it's a bomb, like a sake bomb. And is a sake bomb like the A bomb we dropped on Japan? Is that
the correlation?
I don't know, man.
Maybe, man. Maybe all of this shit is just undercover racism.
Just America just flopping our big fucking dick on every other country. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna take an English Paul bomb later and just flop it on
That sounds
him.
nasty.
That sounds really good. So that's the only other thing that happened. The other thing that happened there is I met a friend of mine named Damon, who last year I met him, I saw him there, and he's been married for a while. He was thinking about having a kid, and I told him how great it was. And then when I saw him this year, he's like, man, after I saw you, I was so inspired to have a kid that I went home and I fucked my wife. No, I went home and my wife and I had a really frank conversation. We decided to have a kid, and now she's pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, damn, that's probably the first time I've ever truly inspired somebody
Yeah.
to have a kid.
Wow.
And then I proceeded to shame him to don't you dare circumcise the kid. I talked to him about eating placenta. Like I was probably like 5 Pearl Snaps. That's
Yeah.
a beer, a Texas beer I was drinking deep. I was at this bar. It was late. And
Don't you fucking cut his dick off.
listen to me, you fucking pig. Would you cut your daughter's clit off? This guy over here, and I'm yelling in the bar. This guy said he'd cut his clit. No, but I couldn't help it. I was just very, very passionate about that. I mean, he's like, well, I'm having a girl, and I was like, great. That's one thing you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
But yeah, eat the placenta because the placenta is good for you. Maybe that's what's in the morning recovery is
Just placenta.
placenta.
And horse cum.
Placenta, horse cum, and some pineapple juice. So that was very exciting. And then I came home, and immediately when I came home, I had to go to my son was in a spelling bee again.
Yeah.
And I talked about this on the show last year about how intense it was. All these kids are shitting bricks. Every one of these kids is so nervous. And they stand up there in front of all these people. They say a word. And if they get it wrong, ding, like some teaching ass bitch on the side of the stage presses this button. It's very, very difficult. Last year, my son made it. I don't know. He was like 5th or 6th or something like that. And he got out on the word character, which crushed him because it was like so easy that he flipped and just flubbed it. Well, this year he gets on stage. It's the first fucking round. Okay. And I swear to God, the kids around him got like spell dog, spell cat, spell pussy. Like someone said to spell pussy, which I thought was pretty weird. And then he gets to Evan and the word is recyclable.
Okay.
And the way the guy said it was recyclable. Like he really kind of hit that E, and there's not an E in the middle. It's like RECYCLABLE.
Okay.
And Evan put the E in there, and right when he said it, I just stood up. I was like, "Fucking shit! You're no son of mine, you stupid shit!" I didn't say any of that, but because I thought, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how bad we've gotten at spelling.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Sometimes when I'm writing an email, I just kind of mash it out. And I'm like, the computer will fix it. Like if I'm just recyclable, like a half type a word, it fixes it. I'm not exaggerating. Like I don't even care.
Yeah.
Lieutenant, spell lieutenant. I don't care. LIEUTA. And okay, fine. And so it's a lost art. He got out on his like he was the first kid to get out. I felt so bad. And then we had to sit there for an hour with our dicks in our hands while I watched the rest of these idiots go through it.
You should have just left.
And just
Fuck
stormed
this
out.
place.
Well, they even
Racist.
say, fucking idiots. Well, no, they even say like, please stay, don't leave until everybody's done. And we sat there. And then, of course, every other word he said he knew. And I believe him. I believe him. The one word he said he didn't know, which jammed up everybody, was calypso. And you might say, that's a really easy word. Well, 11-year-old's never even seen the word calypso. Like, he had no clue what it was, what it meant, what it was about. And the girl misspelled it. And then the other kid up there, he got it right. And then he won.
Huh.
So that was that.
So, like, was he bummed? Like, was he sad after?
No.
Or did he handle it pretty well?
He handled it really well. Last year, he was really upset. And this year, he was just kind of like, you know what? That was a fucked up word. And the way the guy said it was weird, and I misspelled it. Oh, well.
Yeah.
So he's growing.
Oh, man.
Maybe next year he'll make it.
Getting
I mean,
so
he
big.
beat out hundreds of kids to get there. You can't be that mad at him. It was like the district.
How many Indian kids were in this spelling bee?
Okay, well,
If there weren't any, then this is a bullshit spelling
there
bee.
was 12 kids,
Okay.
and there was 6 boys and 6 girls.
Okay.
And even the guy who says the words remarked, like, wow, there's a lot of boys. You know, usually there's like 2. And yeah, I think there was like 4 white kids, and then everyone else was of another ethnicity.
Gotcha.
Not just look, I don't know. There were some Asian kids. One of them did look pretty Filipino too. There might have been a Filipino.
Hey,
kid.
I was in a spelling bee.
So there you go. I mean, like everybody, it was a nice melting pot.
Okay.
But the Indian kid did win, and apparently he won last year too.
Told you, man.
And listen to this. So Evan just gets up there and just says the word. He's just like, okay, recyclable, REC. A lot of these kids, they write the word on their arm. I mean, the kid that won was seriously like watching an athlete.
Yeah.
He asked the same question every time. Use it in a sentence. word of origin. He was like a robot. He wrote the word. And I thought to myself, damn,
Yeah, man.
we're picking up some tricks here. Because I didn't even think once to Google, on YouTube, how to win a spelling bee.
Yeah.
I should have done some research.
I saw some shit on like ESPN and they were talking about all the strategy
Mm-hmm.
and like they ask all the questions because it gives you extra time to think about the word.
Right.
And then like you got to visualize the letters and shit. And,
Totally.
it's so crazy.
It just calmed him down.
Yeah.
Like I think by asking all these questions too, because a lot of the kids would just start spelling right away and fuck up.
Yeah.
Or if it was a long word like lieutenant, they would start out LIEUT, and then once they stop, that's when they're out.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's kind of funny is if you start spelling, you can't go back. So if you say, like this one girl had to spell beige, and she said BIO, and she immediately knew
Yeah.
that it had to be an E, and then she was like, and she kind of stamped her feet and like laughed, and she's like GNOTORIOUS, like that's what she should have said, but no, she's like BIGE, ding, or she should have spelled big nuts or something instead of beige, which would have been pretty funny. So so that's all that's going on.
You should have Evan enter next year just to like troll the whole thing.
Oh right,
and have him do that.
I should just be like,
that's the goal, son.
save for the show. My dad has a podcast. I am now getting older, and as my son's getting older, I don't want his friends to find the show now. Like it's all becoming a little more clear. So yeah, he did great.
Yeah.
He did great. If you're a friend of Evan's and you're listening to the show, he's a great kid. All right. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's do some questions and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on in the chat room? Let me pull up our question here. We are recording the show, so that's good. I feel like we haven't done a show in a month.
Yeah. Anything good? I can't read.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. V. Hernandez, I have to approve your comment that you have a giggle fit like a bitch. I guess because you said the B word. I had to approve it. There's a lot going on here. Jeff and V are chatting here. I appreciate that, guys. Okay, let's do questions. Oh, I gotta lower this real low. I almost would have just blown out their eardrums. Okay, here we go. All right, we love questions on Save for the Show. You can send us in your own, savefortheshow.com/contact. You can be anonymous. You can hit us on Twitter, Sift Show. We have a Reddit, a subreddit, Save for the Show. Plenty of ways to get a hold of us. Here's one, and this is about us live streaming the show.
Okay.
This is about our video that we do when we do the show, usually on Tuesdays or Wednesday nights. Here it is. Why does Eddie have to get the yellow microphone stock? Most low-key racist shit I've seen in 2018. Love the show. And the email they put in was, fuck that couch until it screams for more at AOL.com. Definitely an AOL address for that one.
Yeah.
So yes, Eddie does have a yellow...
I didn't even realize that, man. White man trying to keep...
I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay.
Mine's purple. Like a king, I guess, or Grimace.
Yeah.
You know, I think you haven't always been yellow. I think you were red and orange. I like to think of them as Bert and Ernie's nose. And that's more what you're talking into.
Okay.
And not that I gave the yellow man the yellow one.
Man.
But that one made me laugh.
So racist.
All right. This is kind of a long question.
Okay.
But I feel like this is worth me clarifying because when I read this email, it bothered me when I listened back to the show and I realized how I butchered a story that I was telling.
Okay.
So, hey Dan, I've written in the past, I love the show. However, one segment on the last show left me super confused and really sad. You talked about taking a name from a Christmas tree at your son's school, which had the one and only wish being a hydro flask. I'd never heard of the bottle, so I didn't know anything about it. But you mentioned looking them up and purchasing not one, but two at $20 each. I thought, wow, what a saint. But then in the next breath, you mentioned your son wanting one too, and how you made him buy his own, even though it was 60 or 70 bucks. I thought you said they were 20. I'm now assuming this meant that the unfortunate, already shamed poor child wanted this one, brand name item off her Christmas list, and instead you got her 2 knockoff, embarrassingly lame fake hydro flask bottles. Hydro flosks? Hydro flaskies? Who knows? It's almost like an extra slap in the face, since you could have almost just gotten one of the brands you wanted, but instead got 2 knockoffs. Why did you do this? So, super pause real quick. All right, here's the deal. First of all, we do this podcast and we don't tell a story twice. Mm-hmm. There are no takesy backsies. We don't pause the show. I don't retell you a fucking joke or retell you a story. I mean, I think if that's anything that the live stream shows, this is it. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes when it's later in the show or I'm telling something or you're explaining something, it comes out wrong. Sometimes one of us will catch it and you'll say, whoa, wait. Did you mean this?
Yeah.
In this case, we didn't. I can't go back. The point is, I didn't realize what a hydro flask was either. Mm-hmm. I thought this girl just wanted a water bottle. So I got her what I thought was a nice water bottle. I would have, of course, gotten her the name brand one if I had any inkling that that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she wanted. So this would be like if my son wanted Jordans, and instead I went to Payless, and I was like, yo, instead of getting you 1 Jordan, I got you 2 pairs of Shaqs. You got 2 pairs of Shaqs. And he'd say, Dad, what are you talking? I can't wear Shaqs to school. I will be made fun of. So that wasn't my intent at all. That was supposed to be the joke. That was supposed to be the funny part of the story, is how stupid I was that I did shame this poor girl. Mm-hmm. And I learned my lesson, and I apologize, but I did a bad job. Real bad job. She goes on to say, she probably could have afforded the knockoff on her own. And just because you're poor, it doesn't mean you don't want to be trendy. I too get those cards, and they have options listed, 1, 2, and 3. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Her name's Kelly, and she went on to say that she got a hydro flask of her own because it was so cool when she saw what it was.
Okay.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Because if anyone else thought that I was being a jack off at home, I'm sorry. And thank you for calling me out on my bullshit. Because I'm the first person to admit if I was wrong or did something stupid
Motherfucker.
On the show. Okay.
Racist and dumb.
You know, exactly. Like here I am, this, honky doodah, cis white male over here just buying stupid things for people. So yeah, my apologies about that. Speaking of that, here's a question. This is a good transition. What's up with ignorant relatives on Facebook? I feel like we all have an aunt on Facebook who posts 400 minion memes and peppers support for Donald Trump. Still, when you see posts like that you would disagree with, how do you keep quiet? There's an interesting line between calling out your in-laws on some shit and not being invited to Thanksgiving next year. So I can't believe this is still really a thing.
Yeah.
Where even now, people are still like, well, Trump, you like fuck this porn star. Would you fuck a porn star? Because I know I would, and I saw her. She's hot, and I watched her porn on RedTube, and she was eating a dude's ass. That's me, baby. But yes, it's just the double standard's hilarious, and it's a minefield out there right now.
Yeah,
between gun control and all this stuff, and apparently that Donald Trump Jr. fucked Aubrey O'Day or had an affair with her. It's just too good.
Yeah.
It's just too good. You just got to stay away from it, though. Because at this point, if you have a relative who they know what they're doing, like Facebook is not some cute little quaint area where you can do a thing. Like they get it. They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You got to just ignore them because you're not going to change them. They want to drag you down. These are people who love fighting. They love arguing.
Yeah.
Being an internet jack off is like part of their personality. Don't even buy into it.
Yeah, and you can like unsubscribe from like seeing any of their shit in your feed. You're still friends with them.
Seriously.
But you just don't see any of their bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. They won't know
that
you sort of hid them. And now that it come to find out, like all these companies are harvesting Facebook data to, influence your mind and the things you do. And Facebook stock dropped like $40 billion.
Yeah.
It's a very odd time on the internet. So just log off.
Yeah.
You know what you do? You log off Facebook, log on to save it for the show.
There you go.
Or if you're in your house and you want to listen, or in your car, you're driving in your car and you think to yourself, my speakers don't sound really good. You know what you should do, Eddie?
Maybe get some new tweeters?
bzrkaudio.com. Get yourself some new tweeters. You can definitely not argue about that.
Yeah.
You know, on Facebook, if you go post on Facebook, people say, "Hey, I missed the time when people were talking about the food they ate. I miss when people were talking on Facebook about stupid shit and selfies. I want that shit back." You know what? No one's gonna argue with you about some dope ass new cigarette. See, this is why. Where's Coca-Cola? You see the way I just wove that
was
fucking
beautiful,
ad
man.
into the show. You
Beautiful.
can't skip that.
No.
People are gonna say I can't skip this ad because what if I miss a joke? What if the funniest joke this entire episode? I mean, it wasn't. That wasn't. But what if it was? You can't skip this joke.
You can't. And you can't skip these tweeters. You need them in your life.
God damn, you need them. Easy RK.
Step
check
your
it
game
out.
up.
Step it up. I'm sorry about this person. And that's it. All right. I'm tired. I feel like we haven't
Yes.
done a show in a month, but
Yeah.
it's late. So,
Oh, you know what? Like, speaking of being tired,
Yes.
my wife is in like the phase of her pregnancy, and this has happened with both of our daughters.
Yeah.
Where she snores like I've never heard anyone snore before in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah,
Snoring.
snore like, and it's to the point where like contemplate like sleeping on the couch. And
Oh my
I like
gosh.
put earphones in, and I was listening to white noise one time, and she
Yeah.
snored so loud that it vibrated the bed and woke me
Wow.
up. And I get it; she's pregnant.
Did
and
she snore before?
No, and it's not like she snored earlier in
Mm-hmm.
her pregnancy. It just she gets to a certain point where like
Yeah.
only certain positions are comfortable, and that
Like doggy style?
exactly, and it just like fucks with her airways, I guess. But it's
think
like
you're right.
startling.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
You probably think it's like a duck is in the room.
Yeah, I was like, what the like multiple times
Mm-hmm.
I've woken up, and it's
I don't think it's a good sign. I think there's probably something flip flopping back. Isn't it like what does that mean when you snore? Like is it your tongue or something? There's something. Maybe she can wear a breathe
Yeah.
right or something.
Yeah,
That's what she
maybe.
needs to do.
or I can just sleep on the couch.
You know what you do? Listen to Sleep With Me podcast.
There you
One of
go.
those. You don't want to
Well-
sleep on the couch?
I don't because
Yeah.
and it makes her feel bad too if like she wakes
Right.
up and she's like, "Where's Eddie?" and then I'm on the couch. She's like, "Oh, you should have woke me up and told me to turn over."
Right.
I'm like, "Well, I've said that 10 times."
No,
and,
it's not gonna do anything. What were you gonna say? Sorry. About Sleep With Me, maybe? Or
oh,
Sleep on
I
the
wouldn't
Couch?
be able to hear it over the
Oh
snoring.
my God, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
Make her.
but
sleep
I
on
love
the
you, baby.
couch. I know. How can you not love her? When's she due again?
May 7th.
May
is,
7th.
is the official due
Yeah,
date.
so you're gonna get close to like this has been fun, but now it's time to get this
Yeah,
goddamn baby out.
definitely.
Goddamn baby out. Okay, let's do a real treat.
Yeah.
and we'll call it a night. Where you at? All right, Eddie, what's your real treat this week?
My real treat is a YouTube video series by BET,
Okay.
and it's called Rate the Bars. Have you heard about this?
No.
And they get like famous rappers
Mm-hmm.
to rate rap lyrics, and they don't see who's written them. They just read them off of a note card,
Yeah.
and then they rate it on a scale from 1 to 5. But I find it super interesting.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's super fun to watch. Like, especially when it's like a rapper who has a beef with another rapper, but then
Right.
he reads his lyric. He's like, "Oh, that shit's fire. 5, 5."
Wow.
Like,
game, respect, game.
Yeah, but they're like fucking hate him if they knew who it was. So
Oh, they don't know what it is.
no, they don't know who it's
Oh,
from. Yeah,
Okay, they just see the lyrics.
yeah. Sometimes they obviously like recognize them. They're
Right.
like, "Oh, that's my boy Jay.
Right.
Yo, that shit's fire. 5."
It sounds
But,
good.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love all these like web style shows now that I found a home.
Yeah.
For places like that. Did you hear the new Lil Dicky song called Freaky Friday?
Yeah.
Very surprising that he did that song with Chris Brown.
No, right? And Ed Sheeran.
Lost a ton of respect for Lil Dicky.
It's disappointing.
You mean to tell me there's not anyone else? And I didn't listen to the entire song. Is he self-aware about the fact that Chris Brown is like a piece of shit in the song?
No, it's like,
No.
"Oh, I'm Chris Brown. That's awesome. I can dance. I can sing. Bitches want
Man.
me."
He could have gotten so many other popular rapper slash R&B people to have filled that role.
Yeah.
And he's seemingly so self-aware to me too. Like, I'm surprised.
I think it's because they play like those celebrity basketball games together,
And they're just, maybe they're friends
and they're
IRL.
yeah, and they probably like hang out like for
Right.
real. Because he's a pretty good basketball player. They both are actually.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
in the song, I didn't really enjoy the song either. I thought that
it was all right.
didn't get to me. Like
Yeah.
the usual stuff. Anyways, fine. Rate the bars. The sad part was the lyrics and stuff were still great.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good.
Yeah.
Like, fire. But anyways, fine. My real treat is I'm new to Fortnite. You know, the video game Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rather new to PUBG, which is the other battle royale video game that is all the rage. And my boys are obsessed with Fortnite.
Oh really?
I mean, all they want to do is play Fortnite. When they're not playing Fortnite, they're watching videos on YouTube about Fortnite. They're talking about Fortnite. And the other day, my son Grant won a round of Fortnite. He got
No way.
first place.
Oh my god.
Which is a huge deal to him because he had never won.
Yeah.
He was screaming and yelling. And even my wife was like, "Oh my God, you got first place," because they've been playing it so much. And it's fun.
Yeah.
But so there's that one, which is a little more of the cartoony version. Then there's PUBG, which is a little more hardcore one. Well, anyways, it's on a phone now.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded it on my phone, and I have to admit, it's a lot of fun. It's very intense. Like, it's a fun thing because there's two parts to the game. The one part is you're just looting. Like, you're playing like a weird version of what The Walking Dead might be like.
Yeah.
You're just like walking into houses, searching for guns, and you're always kind of worried, like maybe there'll be somebody around you. And then as the map shrinks, because every couple minutes the map shrinks and you have to move to a certain spot on the map. I'm not explaining this to you. Like, I know you know what this is. It's hard sometimes to explain something to you that I know you know what it is. But anyways, the map shrinks, and if you don't move, you die. And then it gets really intense because all the people are getting in a smaller area, and there really is a rush when you're fighting like that and you win like that. And so, yeah, it's on the phone now, PUBG.
Yeah.
Fortnite is too, apparently, but it's invite only right now.
I just got one today.
Well.
I haven't started playing though. Dude, I played Fortnite a couple of times and it's way too complicated for me with the whole building system. Cause now people
Yeah.
are like, you gotta be a master builder to win this
Right.
shit. And I'm only good at like scavenging.
Right.
I'm barely good at shooting people.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
So yeah.
I watch my kids when they're building around themselves too. It's almost like they're doing like a dance on their controller
Yeah.
and spinning around, like building a tower because they watch videos
Yeah.
to learn strategies. And now my kids know like all these memes and stuff. And every so often they'll say a meme. Oh, God damn it. I can't remember what meme that they were like, "Welcome to Chili's" or something like some stupid Vine meme. And I said it and they looked at each other and thought, how the fuck does Dad know that? And I said, "You fucking idiots. I know every meme. Like, I'm on Reddit, dudes. You're not. I know a meme before it reaches to your little 9-year-old ass.
Go spell something.
Go spell something.
Piece
Go
of
spell
shit.
recyclable, you piece of shit." And then just like I haven't blown my child's mind in a while, but knowing a meme that they knew.
That's hilarious.
So anyways, like PUBG, it's free. It's freemium. And if you're like me and you don't care if you have a cool hat, then you'll never spend any money on it.
Yeah.
So give it a whirl and enjoy that.
Nice.
I don't know if people can be friends with us on there. I got to look into that. I connect with my Facebook account. So my name's Dan the Beast. There's probably
okay.
800 Dan the Beasts. I don't know.
You think the actual Dan the Beast Severin is playing?
No, I don't think so.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay.
And he still doesn't own his Twitter name or his URL. In fact, I just renewed danthebeast.com this
Oh,
week,
man.
and I got it on auto renewal. So you're not going to catch me sleeping at the wheel,
I
Dan.
I doubt he even owns a computer, man.
I think he probably does.
You think so?
Well, and I still follow him on Twitter, and every once in a while, I'll see him post a graphic to like a speech or a wrestle thing he's doing,
okay.
and it's so bad. Like he clearly his team, he's a fire his team.
You
And
think he
move
has a
on.
team? It's probably like his nephew.
I don't know. You're probably right.
Right? He's not like a big star anymore.
No, you're right. Well, I was telling a friend of mine who works at Twitter that I own his name, and I said to her, "I'm surprised he hasn't, gone through the legal to come after me." And she said, actually, unless you were impersonating him on there, it's incredibly hard for anybody to claim a name on Twitter.
Really?
And that makes a lot of sense because there are a couple weird names that people own, not Pepsi or Coke or something like that, but throughout the years, I know there's a bunch, And unless I was doing it, I mean, a brand can't stake claim to something that's not really theirs.
Yeah.
And so, if you'd been the first person to get Microsoft, maybe they probably would have been like, look, we'll give you, like, I think the person that had Wii ended up getting like 10 grand or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that would have been a fun thing to do, is lock all those down.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, PUBG. Another thing, I want to give another shout out to Duff the Psych. And when I was on his podcast last week, definitely check it out if you want to hear me interview him. It was a lot of fun. It made me kind of miss interviewing people. So,
And it was his 100th episode, right?
and it was his 100th episode.
Congrats on that, man.
What an honor. Yeah, and super congrats to him for sticking with something 100 times and doing a good job. That's it. Show's over. All right, so what do we know? Rate the show. We burst through 200. We've got like 220 ratings now.
Nice.
So shout out to the Shift Show Army, the Shift Showians, for getting after it and rating the show and sharing the show. We're back on an upward climb.
Nice.
Which is really cool. So thanks for doing all that. And, we got a Patreon, store.save for the show if you want to get some swag. And that's all. So this week, Amanda Hugginkiss, for the Sifstery, he put together a clip from episode 240 called In My Hand by Shure.
Okay.
Is the name of this one. So we'll see what this one's about. And that's it. Otherwise, you've been listening to Save for the Show with Dan and Eddie. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
All right. All right. All right. Thanks, Jeff and V, for hanging out.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at these comments, and it's hard for me to tell what we were talking about. Why is Chris Brown? What do you mean, why? Because he beat up Rihanna, and he's garbage. All right. There's too much of a delay. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and if you're listening later on, thank you. Bye.
See you guys.